Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Vidane TV. Doing things a little bit different here on a Saturday night. TCM special event coming at us. Little Tim's Corner Motorsports Dirt Derby. Showtime Paul Strickland Jr. up here in the broadcast booth. And, well, my broadcast partner, the wingnut himself, Ashton Ricky's down there starting P3 in this heat race. I guess he's pretty quick here in these street stocks on dirt. So we'll see how the evening folds out here for the broadcast crew, and we'll see what goes down. But before we get there, we got to take a look at that starting grid. Take a look at it. James Pileski and the 93 car going to start on the pole. Cody Olsen right on the outside of him. Ashton Ricky, Mitchell Montgomery, Dave Horton, Jonathan Pollard, Greg Snellgrove, and Aiden McDonald going to be the 8 cars that take the green flag here to kick us off here. Little Dirt Derby action here at Bristol Motor Speedway the night before the 3rd annual Jim Hallahan at 3:33. So gonna get down and dirty here tonight, get all the dirt cleaned up, and we're gonna go racing here tomorrow as well. And you're gonna find it here live on Vidane TV. Gonna be a blast. Looking forward to it, and looking forward to a little triple header action here this evening. Kicking off heat race number 1. There you see Pileski down on the bottom, the 6 car of Olsen up on the high side. And we're gonna get things set up here at the street stocks kicking us off. Gonna be a 35 lap feature. Right after that, it's going to be the UMP cars, the UMP mods, 35 lap feature with them, and then a 50 lap super late model finale here this evening. And then right after that, we're going to jet right back down to the Big Red Trailer, pull up the Royal Rumble here tonight, and watch a little wrestling premium live event. Is that what they're calling them now? But big time wrestling fans here at Vidane TV, looking forward to that. But before we get there, we got to get down and dirty. The truck going to go down onto the safety of pit road. Going to turn these drivers loose, and loose they shall be. Green flag flies once again. We're racing here at Bristol. How about our boy Ashton Ricky there taking over that second position, sliding that 36 car on up in front of Cody Olsen. Going to set his sights now on the lead of the PBR car, the Pabst Blue Ribbon number 93. James Pileski, he's going to lead lap number 1. Everybody pretty much single file in on behind. You see the 12 car there of Mitchell Montgomery, Jonathan Pollard holding on to the top 5 for now. But there you see the 6 car trying to get that second position all over now the back bumper of that 36 car. Going to take a peek down low onto the inside. Holding a pretty line, getting on down in there, gets a little bit of a run, but you can see as they come back off the 36 car, Highline starting to come in early for Ashton Ricky. Oh, he gets a little bit of a nudge there from the 6 car, gets him a little bit out of shape down on the bottom side, but Good recovery there. Going to hold on to that second spot. Cody Olsen going to hold on to third. A little side-by-side action. Now the mystery machine, the number 19 car of Jonathan Pollard, up on the high side. The 122 of Greg Snellgrove down on the bottom side. There's a Miller Lite machine in there as well. The 73 of Dave Horton trying to get a little piece of the action. 5 laps to go in this very first heat race. Great racing here in these street stocks. There's Hayden McDonald a little bit further on, back to 12 car as well, and Mission Montgomery all trying to chase down that 93 car of James Pileski. How about this three-way battle here? A little triple threat action for that second place. All 2 seconds behind leader James Pileski, Cody Olsen, Ashton Reekie, Jonathan Pollard, all within a tenth of a second of each other. That mystery machine trying to take high on the outside, losing just a little bit of momentum. As you can see now, the 36 car going to take a peek. The Wingnut Ride going to take a look on the outside. A little bit of contact, a little bit of a nudge there, a little payback, a little bit of a receipt maybe from earlier on. You can see now side by side, heading on down into the sunset at your Bristol Motor Speedway. Oh, crossover action. 6 goes wide. 6 is out of control, going around in the wrong direction. The 36 going to move on into second place, and that is, in fact, going to bring out the first caution flag here of the evening. That's going to give us an opportunity to take a little look-see at the U-House Racing Designs instant replay. Great side-by-side battling between these two drivers here. Drivers trying to get in to the big show here tonight. 35 laps going to be the feature here for the street stocks. And then moving on into the UMP Modifieds and the Super Late models. There you see the side-by-side. There's the 6 down on the bottom side. The little crossover not quite clear. The 6 goes up into the outside wall. Gets it gathered back up. You see the 122 gets a piece of the action as well. Able to grab it here and get rolling once again. But that's going to line everybody up. Looks like single file here down on the racetrack with 3 laps to go. Side by side for the restart. You can see the 93 gets a phenomenal restart, already cleared by about 3, 4, 5 car lengths, heading on down into turn number 1. That side by side battle now. Pollard in the 19 car up high. The 73, the Miller Lite Ride of Dave Horton down into the bottom. Going to hold on to that second spot. The 122 going to move up a little bit further on into the running order. Cody Olsen up on the high side, the 6 down low. You can see a little side-by-side action all the way through. As we get the white flag, a white rag here. Everybody chasing down James Pileski. You can see over a second the lead that 93 car has going on down into the backstretch. That lead, or that battle, though, going to be for that second position. You can see 4 cars all going for that same piece of real estate. How about that? There's the checkered flag for Pileski. Everybody else comes around underneath the same blanket almost 4 wide there for a little bit further on back, and we're already getting ready to line things up for heat race number 2 as we take a quick peek there at the finishing order. James Pileski coming home with the win. Pollard and Horton second and third. Greg Snellgrove, Cody Olsen, Ashton Reekie, Mitchell Montgomery, and Aiden McDonald. And you can see we're lining up for heat race number 2 here with the street stocks. Phenomenal first race here with these cars at this track, and it's going to be fun to get things kicked off here. And kicking off some of that mud out of his face mask, looking down, Ashton Reekie joins us up here in the booth. That looks like you got a quick second here.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, and I just asked him to throw me up here with you, send me over, let me cross the track, and that was a lot of fun. So this is, as you know, this is my background. This is what I grew up doing in the street stocks on the dirt. So I want to apologize to the 6 car. I got into him. I tried to cross him, tried to pull something sneaky off on him there. I tried to check up, wasn't enough, and I told Tim right away, send me to the back. That's not how I race. So we'll get back up there. The top side slowly coming in.
Yeah, 100%. We saw that very impressive run in the street stock here in the dirt, and it's funny. I show up to the racetrack and everything. They're ready to rock and roll here at Vidane TV, and Tim says, "All right, so boots all ready to go, but Well, your co-host is on the top of the board here in practice, so running a little solo in the production booth. But great to see you out on track, looking pretty strong out there.
Yeah, it's not too often you hear my name at the top of the board in a practice unless I'm the first on the track. So, no, this is my background. And when Tim said he wanted to throw something dirt together, I got really excited. So I've actually been in fire school all morning, raced home to be able to come and race tonight. So this is what I like to do.
100% here. Will help me out. We got ourselves another 8-lap heat race here. Richard Drake up on the pole. Quentin Carpenter going to start alongside him. Greg Kenny, John Fitzpatrick, Aiden Christensen, Tyler Hallahan, and Chris Bingley going to be the 7 cars in this one. Kind of a who's who here with the TCM Special Events, Tim's Corner Motorsports iRacing Series. That pace truck going down to pit road. There's a monster jump there. Restart for that 144, the Laker News Richard Drake machine.
Yeah, these cars on the start are really depending if you want to shift or not. So I don't shift because the gears are so tight. But if you're starting off in 4th, you can be a little sluggish. But to me, it looks like Richard did a quick shift on there, and it makes the start a lot quicker.
A little onboard action. You can see the mud starting to pack onto the face mask there of Aiden Christensen, flying on in through what isn't really a windshield, just kind of a couple of bars there. And you can see the sun looked like it might have been playing a little bit of effect on these drivers' visibility here. Getting into the corner earlier on, it looks like that started to kind of set behind the horizon.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just playing with my settings, so I apologize for the delay there. But yeah, the mud kicking up is something these guys aren't used to. Whereas I grew up looking past the mud, is what they used to always say, is you got to look past it. So these guys may not be fully used to that unless they run a little bit more dirt away from the Tim's Corner stuff.
That's funny. That's usually what a lot of my friends tell a lot of people when they introduce me to the crowd. Just you got to look past the mud.
Yeah, and it sounds silly, but that's exactly what you got to do. You got to look past the mud. The mud's not there until you get on the straightaway and you have time to throw your hand up quickly. And I've done it a couple times where you pull all like 6 tear-offs off on the first pull, and then you're stuck for 25 laps. That's
right. So the secret here of dirt racing, you see the 116 up on the high side, high like some stocks, and 24 of Christensen down on the bottom side. And the secret to dirt racing, we found it out here. We've cracked the code on Vidane TV. The secret is there is no spoon.
I don't even know what that means.
Oh man, you're gonna have to go back and watch The Matrix. Holy cow!
I don't think I ever saw any of those movies.
Oh, you are missing out, and apparently way younger than I am. But how about this battle for the lead? Richard Drake down on the bottom side, trying to hold on to Home Depot, number 90 of Craig Kenny. That top side's coming in, no matter how anybody says it. You can see it looks like there's just a little bit of extra grip there, a little bit extra room for that 90 car to kick that back end around, and you can see just a monstrous run he's getting on that top side over Richard Drake.
Yeah, so what you're looking for there is you see how it's a little darker up on that, what they're going to call the cushion. And he's just getting his right rear tire in that and gives him a little bit of bite. So where Richard is running is going to start getting shiny, lay the rubber down. Depending how long the race is, it could switch back to the bottom, right? So, I mean, if everybody goes up to the top side, that'll clean itself off, get rubber in it, and you'll want to come back down to the bottom. So you really got to read the track all night long.
There you can read the running order. The Kenny machine, the number 90, going to come home with the victory, getting around, using that high side to get around Richard Drake, who finishes in 2nd. Aiden Christensen in 3rd. Quentin Carpenter, John Fitzpatrick, Craig Bingley, and Tyler Hallahan going to round out the running order for that. And well, Ash, you getting ready for the first feature here of the night. What do you think you got for him?
I don't know if I have really much for them. I'm going to hope there's a little bit of luck involved. Again, it's another TCM show that I have a lot of fun doing. This kind of sets us up for tomorrow's big event, so I'm kind of excited for that.
100%. You can see these drivers having themselves a little bit of a final warm-up session, find out where that pit stall is if they end up needing it, and pretty much just getting a final opportunity to make sure the steering wheel's hooked up to the desk and everything's ready to rock, and one more opportunity for Tim to bang on the door and say, Tim's here.
Oh, hey, Tim's here. We surprised these guys because we thought we would have a few more cars than we did. We have an inversion of 4 tonight. So Richard Drake and Jonathan Pollard, the 2 second-place drivers that were in that heat, are going to start on the pole. We're going to run UMP mods afterwards. So if you're out there and you're listening and you want to be a part of this, Just send in an invite to the or send in an application to the Jim Hallahan 333 League. We'll get you in. We're going to run supers afterwards. We're going to have a good time. Ashton's actually got a quick car. Ashton, are you going to be in-car reporter up here or what?
Yeah, I'm going to stay up here. I'll help Paul out. He's struggling with the whole voice thing again. So I'll stay up here, and I'm still going to protest and say we should have inverted the top 11, but that is what it is.
I mean, Paul needs to save some voice for later on when we watch the Rumble, right?
Yes, 100%.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the baseball game, right?
Yes, 30 men enter, 1 leaves. As Tim leaves. There he goes.
Right.
Richard Drake going to start on the pole. Jonathan Pollard in that 19 ride going to start on the outside. Craig Kenny, James Pileski to make up the row in behind them. And this is a little bit different here as you get the virtual belts pulled tight there, Ashton. You made mention earlier on, final moments in practice. A lot of these drivers don't really partake here in the dirt racing, so it's kind of cool to see everybody out on a level playing field.
Absolutely. So 35 laps. I'm always the conservative one, as you always know, so I'll be watching what's going on in front of me for the first few laps here, just seeing how they're moving around, and then from there I'm going to pick a lane and I'm going to go to the front.
Indeed, we will see 15 cars here making the attempt for the checkered flag here. Richard Drake leading them all down. The mystery machine, Jonathan Pollard, up in the 19 car on that high side. And you can see the different grooves, the different grades in the dirt, in the track, in the all the way around this place here. You can see there's a lot of different ways these drivers are going to be utilizing the racetrack, especially up on that high side. We saw a couple drivers getting that back right rear quarter panel up into that dirt, getting just a little bit of extra grip up on the high side. I'm really looking forward to all the sights and sounds here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Little Tim's Quarter Motorsports Dirt Derby action. First feature of the night, street stocks. 35 laps on the docket. Official iRacing pace truck bringing all these drivers down to the starting position here, 2 by 2 all the way through. Going to be taking that hard left-hand turn down to the safety of pit road, and there he goes. We wait for Barney in the flag stand. He says go. Green flag flies. Richard Drake gets a jump that he needs. Going to move up to that high side already. Craig Kenny going to kind of switch it up just a little bit. Go down to the bottom side as everybody slams on into turn number 1. Dirt racing action here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Richard Drake holding on to a commanding lead, about a half a second now over James Pileski in that second position. Started 4th, moved up 2 spots already onto the podium, and you can see already under attack Craig Kenny all the way up on the high side in that 9 machine. Aiden Christensen in the 24 car having himself a good run, moving up just a couple of positions. Jonathan Pollard in the 19 sliding back just a little bit. You can see he's right up in front of those 2 cars in behind him, the 122, and I believe that was the 9 car, as the 90 of Craig Kenny takes a peek down low. Look at that camera angle underneath the 24 car of Aiden Christensen. Oh, Aston Reekie around the 36 car, pointed in the wrong direction. Looks like we stay green. He's going to get down to the safety of pit road, it appears. It sounds like something is broken on that race car. We stay clean and green, though. Richard Drake still out front, but that lead just a little bit smaller, 0.3 of a second now. But James Pileski under attack from that 24 car. Already a couple of bumpskis there from the 24 to the back of the 93, and you can see it doesn't seem to be slowing him down too much. Aiden Christensen still on the hunt, though. Wants that second spot. The second spot driver, though, wants that lead. 3-way dance here for the top 3 spots. Sorted out single file here for the top 3. How about a little side-by-side battle for that second position? The 90 car, Craig Kenny up on the high side, does in fact clear the mystery machine of Jonathan Pollard there in the 19 car. He's going to have a little bit of a mirror full of that 6 car for a second. Now he's got a quarter panel full of them. As Cody Olsen, Greg Snellgrove move on up. They've got the 116 car of Quentin Carpenter there with them as well. John Fitzpatrick there in the City Chevrolet little throwback action there in that 78 car. Back in the 9th position, Mitchell Montgomery rounding out the top 10. All still chasing down that Laker Dudes 141 car of Richard Drake. James Pileski right in behind. Ashton Rickey still on pit road. Seems like he's working on a little bit of damage on the race car. Maybe grabbing some ice cream here up in the booth. That might help the sore throat a little bit. But there you see James Pileski all over now the back bumper of Richard Drake. He's going to try and get down on the bottom side as we work lap number 9 here. 35 on the docket. There's a little bit of contact between those two drivers. The 93 down on the bottom side. The 141 not giving up though. Richard Drake doing everything he can. More contact right up and over the steel wheel, the rubber wheel there on the 141. Going to slide him on back to that 3rd position. Aiden Christensen now going to move on up to 2nd. He's got his sight sets on the back bumper of the 93. Little onboard action here with the left front quarter panel of the Christensen Motorsports setup shop number 24 car. You can see 25 laps to go as the sun sets in the background here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Feature number 1 here of the evening. Running the UMP Modifieds, a 30-lap feature after this, and then the super late models after that. 50-lap feature finale for that. Going to be a lot of fun here as we get ready to rock and roll here. A little dirt racing action tonight, and then we clean off the dirt. We run the 3rd annual Jim Hallahan 333 here at Bristol Motor Speedway tomorrow, and that's going to be kicking things off at noon Atlantic time right here live on Vidane TV. You can see Richard Drake in the 141 car. Took a peek onto that 124 machine right up in front of him. Did not quite have enough of the run. And you can see sliding back just a little bit. Craig Kenny there in that 4th position trying to take a little bit of an attack. Cody Olsen in that 6 car back into the top 5. James Pileski in that 93 car, the leader, with the 24 right in behind. Live all over the place here on Vidane TV. Little Tim's Corner Motorsports Dirt Derby action. 3 features here. The Street Stocks kicking things off with a 35-lapper UMP Modifieds right after this. And then a 50-lap finale with those super modifieds, or the super late models rather, here at the dirt-covered Bristol. It's going to be a lot of fun to cover the action here tonight. Aiden Christensen trying to get up to the back bumper of the leader, James Pileski, not quite having the run that he wants to get up there, though. 20 laps to go. He's got a mirror full of that 141 machine. Caution flag flies, though. It's going to punch everybody back up. Looks like we got a little bit of action towards the back of the pack here. See if we can take a peek. Looks like the Cody Olsen machine at number 6 is called for a quick repair, but we'll take a peek at that U-House Racing Designs instant replay. See if we can find out what brought out the first caution flag here in the first feature of the night. Focus in on that number 6 car. You can see right up in front of that magic, the mystery machine. The number 19 car, little Scooby-Doo action. Number 6 car was one point in the wrong direction there as we called for the restart. A little bit of contact. A couple of drivers going for the same piece of real estate. A little bit of a slow spin there for the 6. Some contact on the front of the car. Going to call for a tow truck here at this point after getting back on the racetrack. Trying to grab a gear with these things, but on the dirt they kind of just spin right on around. So might be it for the street stock race for Cody Olsen, but there's still 2 more features here coming up with 18 laps to go in the street stocks. Anybody out there with the iRacing service wants to jump on and do a quick little search for Tim's Corner Motorsports in the iRacing League page. Join the Jim Hallahan page, and we'll get you an invite. Get hooked up. Man, Tim Terry will get everything you need to go. But you can see green flag going to fly once again. The 93 car, Pileski going to get the shot that he needs. Christensen and the 24 car able to hold on to second. But there's Craig Kenny up on that 90 car. We saw him in the heat race. Use that high side, going way high this time around. Going to lose a little bit of track position there to the 141 of Drake. And Drake going to use that bottom side all the way down to the crease of the racetrack. The 90 car trying to hang out that right rear tire, trying to get up into that rubber, that grip up on the high side. You can see still side by side now. Caution flies once again. The 33 car of Tyler Hallahan, a couple of other cars involved in this one. Another opportunity to pull up that U-House of Racing Designs instant replay. And we'll back up and take a peek at the tapes and find out what went down with the me car. The little bit of movie nostalgia here. The Days of Thunder car doing a little side-by-side action with the Talladega Nights car. And looks like there's some big-time contact here, but we'll take a peek at it on the YRD instant replay. Focus in on that 33 car. Gets in just a little bit too hot. Gets into the 78 car. Gives him a nudge. Tries to straighten him back out. There's a little bit of a turn there from up top. Little three-wide action there. Not quite enough room for three race cars in that groove. And kind of seems like it's a little bit of a race. You can see just some contact between the 133 and the 33. JR Fitzpatrick up in there. You can see Ashton Regan sneaking on by in that 36 car. Good to see him back out on track. And Tyler Hallahan able to grab a gear, stay on the lead lap here too as well. So 13 cars going to be on the lead lap. Easy enough for me to say as we take a restart with it's probably about 11, maybe 12 laps to go. Eleven drivers now lined up on track to take the restart here. You can see everybody chasing down James Pileski in that 93 car. Aiden Christensen going to take the restart on the high side. Craig Kenny, Richard Drake, Quentin Carpenter going to restart up in the top 5. You can see the 24 car doing a little bit of weaving back and forth, trying to get a little bit of grip, a little bit of heat in those front tires to see if he can get down and around that 93 car. But man, it's been hard to catch that 93 on the restarts, and there you can see once again green flag flying. The 93 takes off like a shot. Craig Kenny going to get the advantage in that 90 car and drift off the track. That seems to be where he's been running strong. You can see Christensen moving back down to the bottom of the racetrack, and you can see Richard Drake has a front seat there for that second position, right up in behind a little three-way battle. Once again, little three-wide action for second place. Richard Drake going to try and get on down all the way into the bottom side. Aiden Christensen there in the middle. Richard Drake thinks a little bit better of it. Going to tuck back into the tire tracks for right now. And you can see the 116 car now of Quentin Carpenter moving on the high side. Going to try and get around Richard Drake in that 141 car. Action all the way around here, Bristol Motor Speedway. And this is just the first feature here of the evening. There you can see a little side-by-side battle for second. Everybody chasing down James Pileski in that 93 car. Aiden Christensen holding on the bottom in that 24 car. And the number 90 machine, the Home Depot ride of Craig Kenny, trying to make a little magic happen up on the high side. There you can see a little bit of a bumper car action between the 24 and the 90. They think they hold on to it. Beautiful slide drafting in here. The 116 of Carpenter going to join the party. He's going to bring Richard Drake in the 141. Craig Kenny going to go all the way down to the bottom of the racetrack in the number 90 car. Oh, he's going to come up and touch the 24 car. Backs out of the throttle, loses a bunch of track position. Craig Kenny going to try and hold on to the bottom of the racetrack. Going to open up the top side, though, for Carpenter in the 116 car. And you can see Greg Snellgrove now in the 122. He's going to join this fight, as is the 12 car. Mitchell Montgomery slow earlier on, that 12 car in the battle for this one. Everybody battling out for that second position, but everybody trying to chase down James Pileski. He's got a full second lead now over this mayhem, this battle for second place, this battle for third place, side-by-side action, a little three-wide, bumper-to-bumper, door-to-door, and lots of mayhem going on with these cars. Big contact, 141 up into the 90, the 116 down and around, up into the outside wall. There's the 33 getting a piece of the action as well. Caution flag going to fly here with 5 laps to go, and that is going to set us up for a green-white checkered here in the very first feature of the evening, the 35-lap feature here for the street stocks. And man, this is going to be an exciting finish. You can see the instant replay, the hard battling between these drivers for the second spot, trying to get up into that third position here as well. But man, oh man, you can see the 116 all the way up high, the 90 in the middle, and the 141 car doing everything he can to try and get down and to the bottom of the racetrack. And there's the contact. A couple of other drivers getting involved in that as well. And it's going to set up a late race restart here for the street stocks. And it's been an exciting race so far in this one. And things to come later on here tonight. A little Royal Rumble Saturday night action here. TCM's Dirt Derby kicking things off, warming things up for the weekend. It's the third annual Jim Hallahan 333 kicking things off at noontime tomorrow right here on Vidane TV. Going to be a lot of fun. Lined up 2x2 once again. James Pileski down on the bottom side. Aiden Christensen up on the high side. Quentin Carpenter, Greg Snellrow, Mitchell Montgomery, the top five. Tyler Hallahan, Dave Horton, John Pollard, Aiden McDonald, Richard Drake, Craig Kennedy. 11 cars on the lead lap. Going to cross the stripe here and take 2 laps to go. Pileski gets the restart that he needs. Christensen cleared by a couple. Snellgrove rather, in that third position. He has to hold on for at least a lap and a half more. 3 wide, a little bit further on back for that 5th and 6th position. These drivers all over the place here at Bristol Motor Speedway. And man, oh man, white flag, white rag, 1 lap to go. Everybody chasing down Pileski in that 93 car. And you can see Christensen able to get right close to the back bumper, but doesn't quite have enough. Or does he? One more last shot, one more Hail Mary down into turn 3 and 4. The 24 of Christensen does not have enough. The 93 car of James Pileski going to come home with the victory. The 24 of Christensen right in behind. How about the 122 car of Greg Snellgrove rounding out the top 3? Quentin Carpenter, Mitchell Montgomery going to be the top 5 in this one. A heck of a race here at Bristol Motor Speedway to kick things off. And man, oh man, we will try and talk to these top 3 finishers here, but we're going to get things rolling right on in to the second event here of the evening. Track going to get ready to open up here for 15 minutes of practice for these UMP modifieds, and we're going to be doing a 35-lap feature here for this one. So taking a quick peek here at the feature results here at Bristol for the street stocks. We saw in the 93 car James Pileski coming home with a commanding victory. Aiden Christensen with just not quite enough there at the end, and the 24 car going to finish in second. Greg Snellgrove going to finish on the podium. Quentin Carpenter and Mitchell Montgomery going to be the top 5. Tyler Hallahan, Aiden McDonald, Craig Kenny, Jonathan Pollard, and Dave Horton going to be the top 10. Richard Drake, the last car on the lead lap. And you can see a couple of drivers having to retire just a little bit early. Chris Bingley, 1 lap down in the 84 car. Ashton Rickey involved in that earlier round wreck, 11 laps down. J.R. Fitzpatrick, Cody Olsen back there as well. But an exciting first feature event here tonight. Looks like we're going to try and get caught up with the top 3 momentarily. But before we do that, going to step away for just a quick second, get all the lines crossed up and ready to rock and roll here for the second event here of the evening. Second race of the night, UMP Modifieds coming up here with about 15 minutes, 20 minutes or so for these drivers to get out on track and do just a little bit of practice. So we'll be right back here live on Vidane TV. Re-racked and restacked with a different style of car out here on the racetrack. Same great Bristol Motor Speedway, covered in that beautiful, beautiful dirt. Doing a little UMP modified action here. Christensen in that 24 car. Going to start up on the high side. Cody Olsen going to start heat race number 1 here on the bottom side. Mitchell Montgomery, Craig Kenny going to be the next row. Quentin Carpenter, Greg Snellgrove, Aiden McDonald, and Ashton Reekie gonna be the 8 cars taking the green flag in the first of 2 heat races here, getting set up for the UMP modifieds here, and joined up here in the broadcast booth after a quick but ferocious bathroom break, Ryan Salvatore from iRACING TV. Great to have you up here in the production trailer here, Ryan, watching dirt racing action here on a Saturday night. He must still be over there in line for the restroom, so we'll wait for Ryan to get on back here. But there you see, lined up, ready to rock and roll here, 2x2, the 6 car down on the bottom side of Olsen. Christian up on the top side. 8 laps here in these 2 heat races. Going to find out where these guys going to qualify for the 35-lap feature in the UMP modifieds here for the TCM Dirt Derby. Green flag flies. Olsen pulls away a little side-by-side. And Montgomery, second and third. Little 2x2 action back even further. Carpenter and Kenny trying to hold on to the top 5. Aiden McDonald finds himself pointed in the wrong direction. The 133 car caution flag going to fly, but it looks like he is indeed going to call for the wrecker on that machine. Going to pull out the U-House Racing Designs instant replay here to find out why that 133 started going the other way on the racetrack. Not the scheduled direction around the racetrack here. And we'll take a peek at that U-House Racing Designs instant replay right off the start here. We're going to focus in on that 133. Everything looking good getting into turn number 1. You can see getting up in that high groove. Ashton Reed can say it right here. The high line getting ready to come in, but he's up into the outside wall. The real racing season, but before we get there, a couple of huge events here. A little dirt derby action here with Tim's Corner Motorsports. Getting the track warmed up for the 3rd annual Jim Hallahan 333 here at Bristol Motor Speedway. 333 laps on the docket here tomorrow. That is going to be an absolute blast. The track opening up here at noon or 11 o'clock Atlantic time tomorrow morning, and we're going to be going live at noontime. Green flag flies once again. 4 laps to go. Olsen up front. Mayhem, absolute mayhem for second on back. Cars wrecking each and every which direction. Caution flag flies for the second time here in this heat race. These cars have a little bit more power than the street. Gets down and around, grabs the gear, gets going again without hitting anything. So definitely some heads-up driving by that number 24 car. So he's gonna have 5th position, easy enough for me to say. Cody Olsen out front, Mitchell Montgomery in 2nd, Greg Snellgrove there in 3rd, Ashton Reekie up to 4th, and there we see Christensen in the 24 car up in the top 5. Craig Kenny, Quentin Carpenter right in behind him. Aiden McDonald down on pit road, and joined up in the booth, Ryan Salvatore, after that brief and ferocious bathroom break. Gonna call a little dirt racing action here with TCM, and you took these cars out, said they were a little loose in the back end.
Definitely a little loose, so it'll be interesting on this restart to see if they can hold them together, as Olsen definitely gets a good launch there and gets the whole shot coming in. It's only 2 to go.
Popsicle sticks up in the air. You can see some great car control there for the 24 car of Christensen all the way down to the bottom side of the racetrack. 122 up into the outside wall. The 116 going to slide it on in, but Mitchell Montgomery going to hold on to that 2nd position. Great run for him. Cody Olsen up in the front, though. Gonna 3 and 4 for the final time. Checkered flag up in the air. Final time around here. Nope, just kidding. They're on the backstretch. Now they're going to hit 3 and 4. It's an oval. It's hard to find out which side. In any sense, taking the checkered flag. How about that number 6 car of Cody Olsen going to come home with the heat race win. Mitchell Montgomery in 2nd. Aiden Christensen in 3rd. Greg Snellgrove, Quentin Carpenter, Craig Kenny, and Ashton Reekie going to be the 7 cars on the lead lap. Aiden McDonald finishing in. There you can see the finishing results there on the center of your screen, and the starting lineup for heat race number 2. James Pileski in the 93 going to start up on the pole with Richard Drake there on the outside. John Fitzpatrick there in the 78 car going to start in third. Chantel Paddle joining us, going to start at the outside of row number 2 in the 4th position in the number 5 car. 33 car of Tyler Hallahan going to start P5. Dave Horton and Jonathan Pollard going to be the 7 cars rounding out heat race number 2 here for the UMP Modifieds. And like we made mention, these things have a little bit more power than the street stocks. The street stocks, it seems like we were able to really hammer down all the way around the track. These, you have to kind of feather the throttle just a little bit to keep that back end under control.
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge to be able to do that. And the street stocks you can just kind of ride through, and they have power, but they don't have the same type of power as these guys. So the back ends definitely like to take a little walk, and you got to feather that throttle and just kind of keep it under control. And it's a difficult little feat to do, but whoever can master that the best is definitely going to be the one coming out on top.
We saw Pileski very strong in the street stocks here, as was the 141 car of Richard Drake. You can see it start on the outside of row 1. And again, some big names here in the dirt, little TCM action. And just getting the track warmed up here again for the 3rd annual Jim Hallahan 333 tomorrow at Bristol. Going to be a lot of fun. Going to be going live here on Vidane TV at noon Atlantic. I think that's 1 p.m. Eastern. I'm still been doing this for 3 years. I still haven't figured out the whole time thing yet. But in any sense, be able to check it out over on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, all that good stuff. Green flag flies. Pileski gets a monster start there. Richard Drake going to slide on the 2nd. We're wrecking from 3rd on back.
Yeah, we got one doing barrel rolls, but looks like we're still green at the moment as he's got it back under control and moving forward. I believe that was Fitzpatrick, possibly.
Yeah, sliding and flipping and getting on back onto the racetrack. But you can see Pileski up in the front by about 0.6 of a second now. Richard Drake in the 141 right in behind Tyler Hallahan in 3rd. Under attack there by Chantel Paddle high in the racetrack, sliding that back end around. And great to see the 5 car back on track up in the top 5.
Yeah, putting a strong run right here, running down Hallahan, and we'll be able to see if he'll be able to get by. But right now it looks like the bottom is definitely the quicker way around, so unless you can pry him off it might be tough with only 5 laps to go.
Taking a peek down on the inside, moving it on up to the high side.
But maybe Richard Drake should take a look at that and use it, because she made it look easy, but he is putting pressure on right in the tire tracks, and we'll see if he can get it done with only about 2.5 laps left to go.
Richard Drake trying to swing that back end around, trying to use that grip up in the high side just a little bit. You can see a great shot there from the blimp. He gets right up to the back bumper there with popsicle sticks there, but does he have enough time to pass him?
You can see Richard Drake gets such a better run off the corner, but Pileski just drives it in so much deeper, able to get that run into the corner. But with only 1 lap to go, Drake's run out of time in the heat race.
Pileski did a great job closing down the line on the bottom side. Richard Drake backing up just a little bit, but you can see close to the race, right where he needed to be in the back bumper of that 93 car. Looking forward to seeing those 2 cats go after it in the feature here. How about Chantel Paddle finishing in 3rd? Tyler Hallahan going to finish P4. Jonathan Pollard rounding out the top 5, and going to give these drivers an opportunity to once again just kind of give the tires a little cool down, get everything warmed up, and make sure they're ready to rock and roll for the 35-lap feature.
Yep, both heat races, you could definitely see the difference in the people who figured out the track and how to drive these cars and who didn't. Because in the first one, Olsen pulled away, put a pretty good gap on the rest of the field, where in the second one, Drake and Pileski put on a really good show, but also put about 2 seconds on 3rd place. So it'll be a pretty good battle up front, but we may see a little bit of a gap pretty early on.
I want to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight. A little TCM Dirt Derby action here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Doing some more dirt racing, getting ready for a 35-lap feature here with the UMP Modifieds, and then a 50-lap finale here with the super late models going to be right here on dirt as well. Then we're wiping all the dirt off, and we're attacking Bristol for 333 laps for the Jim Hallahan 333, the 3rd annual right here on Vidane TV tomorrow. And again, thank you so much for tuning in. We're live all over the place on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch. Lots of stuff coming up here on Vidane TV. Liberty Racing League on Tuesday. The Kartplex Series Tuesday night. RBR Maritime Group coming back to us on Wednesdays. NEP on Thursdays. All over the place, entertaining the masses here. And we're getting ready to line them up here for 35 laps at Bristol Motor Speedway with the UMP Modifieds. Richard Drake up front. Mitchell Montgomery going to start on the outside.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you saw, but they are actually having an invert for the top four. So, Pileski and Olsen, who won the 2 heat races, are actually starting 3rd and 4th, and the second place cars from the heat are actually 1st and 2nd.
Race director Tim Terry likes to throw those monkey wrenches into the plans here for these drivers and the broadcast crew. I'm glad you caught that because I definitely did not. But there you see Aiden
It'll
Christensen.
definitely make it interesting on this start because if Drake can kind of get a jump and get away, he could make it a little difficult for the cars behind to get around. But as you still see, 5th place is going to be Aiden Christensen with 6th, I believe, Chantel Pottle.
Greg Snellgrove right in behind him with a 122 car. Tyler Hallahan in the 33, going to start there in 8th. Craig Kenny, Jonathan Pollard going to round out the top 10. How about Ashton Reiki back there in 11th? Very strong on the dirt cars in that 36 car. Usually up here in the broadcast booth, but showed up at the racetrack and, well, I got the debrief from Tim. He said my broadcast partner was at the top of the charts in practice for the street stock, so he's out there having himself a little bit of fun. Joined here this evening by our Sal TV's very own Ryan Salvatore. And Ryan, great to have you up here in the booth once again. I think it's the second time this week.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna have to start getting overtime for this. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, we'll double time and a half times free. We'll figure it out. We'll do a couple of beers at the racetrack, maybe a pulled pork sandwich or something.
That is always a good sell.
Lined up 2x2 once again. There you can see the lights are off on the official pace truck of the iRacing simulator. I think it's a Ford. I'm not 100% sure. Richard Drake going to start on P1, and there you see Montgomery on the high side. Does not go. A little bit jammed up for 2nd and 3rd on back. Richard Drake is checked out. Looks like he's got himself 3/10 for 2nd lead.
Oh, yeah, definitely caught sleeping. Did not expect him to fire when he did. And you can see how big of a gap he's already pulled. Got some calamity in the back, but as of now, we're still green. Drake, Pileski, and Christensen, top 3.
Yeah, caution flag gonna fly. We've had a handful of cars back there towards the back. It looks like Pileski gonna hold on to 2nd. Drake gonna hold on to the lead. Christensen there in 3rd, and we're gonna have to back this up just almost to the beginning here on the U-House Racing Designs instant replay here for the first caution in lap 2. So we'll bust out the U-House Racing Designs blimp. Looks like the 73 car finding a little bit of the outside wall here. We'll take a look. Bright green car, easy to focus in on there on the high side. Little connection issue, a couple of cars up there on the high side. We'll see if that has anything to do with it. There you see the start. 73 gets down and away. Everything looks A-okay. Ashton Reiki there in the 36 car. No issue there and behind. Looks like the 19. Everything looks good. 73 car. There you see the 119 car gets turned. 73 car. Nowhere to go. Tough to get these things turned down to the inside safer barrier there on the dirt. But a little bit of a tag there, and that's going to bring out caution flag number 1.
Oh, yeah, big contact, and these on dirt, it's definitely a lot harder to hit the brakes and stop. So when something's happening in front of you, you kind of just hope it's not in your lane. There's not much moving around that you can do, but looks like the lights are out, and we're going green this time.
Quickie cautions here with the TCM special events, the TCM Dirt Derby here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Lights off 2x2 throughout the field. Drake and Pileski, top 2 cars. Christensen, Olsen, and Montgomery going to be the top 5. Pace car down and away. Green flag flies. Now we're side by side heading into 1. How about that monster run there for the 93 car? Heading him up into the lead, and we're 2-3 wide there for 3rd.
Yeah, I don't know how as the leader you can get caught sleeping, but that's exactly what Drake was. He was caught sleeping, and Pileski pulled out a monster move on the outside to get around to take the lead here in the early going.
Front 3, 4, 5 cars, single file. You can see the drivers utilizing different grooves around this racetrack. Everybody trying to chase down Pileski. 4/10 of a second lead over Drake. Christensen there in 3rd. Olsen and Kenny, the top 5 as they run.
Yep, close battles, and for what looks a little helping, looks like we're going to go around and bring out another yellow. As again, it just happens that quick. Get in the corner just a little too hot. Somebody gets a little too far sideways, lets the back end go, but we'll see exactly what happened here in the YRD instant replay.
It's Snellgrove in the 122 car getting a little piece of the action here. You can see a little side-by-side with the 33. Everything looking good. Heading on down into the corner, though. A little bit too much for the 122. A little bit of a push there from the 116. Getting pointed in the wrong direction. Able to grab a gear. Looks like get pulled away from the wall. Doesn't lose a lap here. Going to lose a lot of track position, and that's going to be big here in these short sprints. Only 35 laps on the docket here, working lap number 8, 9.
Yep, as Quentin Carpenter was given an EOL for that one, and right back to the quickie cautions as we're lights out. We're going 1 to green this time.
Picking up laps and putting them down live all over the place, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Give us a like, a subscribe, a share, all that good stuff. And while you're on the YouTube page, go on over to iRACING TV. Give him a quick subscribe as well. Take a peek on what's going on in the NEP series this season, last season. Lots of cool awards and some quick cameo appearances in the iRACING TV world. Green flag flies once again. Pileski again. Monster restart in that 93 car.
He has just got, I mean, I don't know if he knows exactly when the Barney and the Flagstan's throwing the green, because he seems to be on it every single time. Getting out to a nice little lead, but a nice battle for second. Drake and Christensen side by side.
A little bit of contact there in third. Oh, big time contact with the 141 on the outside wall. We saw the 122 last time by up into the wall as well, but able to keep on to it. Kenny down on the bottom side, had to back up just a little bit. The 141 holding on a position, now taking a peek down low underneath the 12 Montgomery. A little bit too much, a little bit too sideways. Kenny clears him in the 90 car, but with 141 heading backwards. Big time slide for the 141.
He cannot seem to get the handle on it. Sometimes you, when you get knocked out of a groove, it's difficult to get back into it, and that's just where the struggle is for him right now. He just keeps getting knocked around. But up front, you got Pileski pulling away in the lead, but Olsen finally got clear second. So I'd be curious to see if he can start to try to run him down here.
Chantel Pottle in the top 5. Ooh, car going in the wrong direction in a big way. Looks like Ashton Rickey found himself a quick tow truck ride down to the pits. Going to bring out the caution flag here with 22 laps to go.
Yeah, sitting in the middle of the track, he was pretty good about getting that tow button as quick as possible, because there were a couple cars about to come bearing down on him. So good thing he was able to get out, but let's see how close it was.
Yeah, it looks like the 36 car had some extracurricular activities for a couple of laps. Just struggling with the handling of that car, and going to bring out the caution flag here. You can see there's some damage pretty much all over there. There you can see hits the outside wall. Just kind of loses the handling, and it's tough. There's a little bit of a tap there. The 122 gets a piece of it as well. So, man, that's a tough break for Ashton Rickey in that 36 car. It looks like he's going to park that thing down on pit road, at least for the time being. Try and get that thing lined up, just like we're lined up front already, 2x2, ready to rock and roll.
Yep, we're getting ready to go back to green, 1 to green here. These modifieds, like we said, are really tough to hold on to, but I think we'll have a little bit better success when they get to the late models after this, but we still got 21 circuits, and I'm very excited to see how this front row, the race that these guys are going to be able to put on right here.
And there you can see another monster restart for Pileski in the 93. Going to move up to the high side of the racetrack and see if he can utilize everything he can to keep that 6 car of Olsen in behind him. Oh, contact between the 24 and the 6. They gather it back up, but that tightens everything back up. Chantel Pottle in the 5 car making moves.
Where the heck did the 141 come? He was just moving all the way to the back, and now all of a sudden he's back up fighting for 4th here and getting some door slamming going on with Christensen, holding it together though on the bottom, moving up into the 4th spot.
Richard Drake showing up for a fight. There's some contact between Kenny and Christensen. Now Christensen holding on to it in that 24 car, setting his sights on the back bumper. Huge contact between the 24 and the 141. I don't know if there's any kind of malicious intent in there or not, but it's really putting on for some phenomenal racing up here in the top 5. The 24 car giving a little bit of break, but man, oh man, setting his sights on that back bumper.
I don't know if he knows this, but I don't think you're supposed to be bump drafting at Bristol anyway on the pavement, let alone the dirt. But he tried to make it work. It didn't quite work out there, but he's still going to look at him just ride and nice and hard on that cushion, trying to put everything he can to try to catch it back up to that break. As the leaders, I believe, are about nose to tail right now.
You can see big time. Oh, contact again with the 24 into the back of the 141. They keep going, and you can see the battle for the lead heating up there as well. Pileski holding on to it. Olsen in the 6 car right on the back bumper. They're trying to get down side by side and come home with that victory. And you can see Chantel Bottle, a bit of a cushion there, running in third, having a phenomenal run in that 5 car. And there you see Christensen down low, body slamming into the side. Richard Drake down and around. Oh, down by the entrance of pit road. That is tough break for Richard Drake. His caution does not come out. We stay green. Christensen holds on to that 4th spot.
As you say, the yellow does come out. We'll see if it's for that or maybe something else happened. I'm not sure, but Richard Drake can't be very happy about that one. But I mean, that's just hard racing, and it's they went back and forth for a good, what was that, 4 or 5 laps? But we'll see the end result here in the YRD instant replay.
Yeah, these guys going back and forth, beating and banging on each other's sides, fronts, backs, bumpers, all sorts of stuff. And there you can see 24 car in and 141 trying to hold on to it and get spun around there at the entrance of pit road. Tries to get that thing pointed in the right direction. Tough to get it up the racetrack there. So caution flag going to fly, and the 141, I believe, going to stay on the lead lap. So going to be able to restart with these drivers on the same lap, and we'll see if he can make his way up. Going to have a tall order, though, restarting back in P11.
Yes, it is. But as we already saw on the last yellow flag, he has no problem making his way through the field, which is so I definitely see him getting back up towards the front. We'll see if he can get back to Christensen and if he's got anything else to say once he gets there. But the leaders were putting on a great show here. So with the last 12 laps, I'm very excited to see these two going at it.
A little bit of an extended caution here to get the running order sorted out, and you can see James Pileski holding on to the lead. Cody Olsen running in second. Chantal Pato, great run for her, up in the 3rd spot. Aiden Christensen and John Fitzpatrick, the top 5 as they run. Now we're getting them doubled up, getting ready to rock and roll once again.
Yep, lights are out on the pace truck. We got one till green here, and we'll see if Pileski, he's been nailing the restarts every time. Him and Barney got a little simpatico going on here. This seems to be perfect on every one, so we'll see how big. It's going to be really big for Olsen to try to hold it onto him here on the restart.
And there you can see the back end of the car just rips on sideways. The 93 on the hammer hard again. Olsen in second. Christensen up into the outside wall there in third, side by side for 4th on back. And this is going to get exciting. 10 laps to go here in the UMP Modifieds feature.
Yes, sir. Let's see. Oh, they're still nose and tail first and second. Been a little bit of bumper there, but that's all good here at Bristol. Right in tire tracks, trying to find any way around Pileski as they go into turn 3.
Great onboard shot here of the number 6 car, right up, introducing himself to the back bumper of Pileski's back bumper in the 93. Going to take a peek on the high side, try and get down and around, but that 6 car not having enough to get there. It just gets right up to the back bumper, not able to get around on the high side, trying to just kind of use different ways around the racetrack, and you can see Christensen trying to close that gap, half-second on back there in third.
As he just gets to the right rear, both into the fence. Christensen's coming. Pato gets in the back of Olsen and turns him around, and the yellow flag is out.
Excitement picking up here in a big way. Caution flag flies with 6 laps to go. Saw it live here on Vidane TV, but we're going to back it up anyway and take a peek at that U-House Racing Designs instant replay. Things really starting to get heated up. Battle for the lead, little side-by-side action, a little bit of contact up into the outside wall. Here comes a couple of other cars. The 5 car really not able to slow up in time. Gets the 6 car spun around, able to grab a gear and keep that thing going. And keeping the forward momentum in the right direction. So that is good news for Cody Olsen. The bad news, single digits to go, and gonna have to restart back in the 4th row on the outside in the 8th position.
Yeah, that was a tough one. He got to the outside quarter panel of the leader, Pileski, and I think he thought he had the right to earn a little bit of room up there, but Pileski didn't think so and just kind of shut the door on him. Got them both in the fence, and then it all just kind of unraveled after that. But Olsen was running really well. I mean, it's really unfortunate that he's going to be back here, but himself and Chantel Paula both have been given back of the line penalties for that contact.
And again, a little bit of an extended caution here to get the track cleaned up, get the running order cleaned up as well. While we've got a moment in between races, be sure to head on over to Vidane.net. It's cold outside here in southern Connecticut, so grab a sweatshirt, t-shirt, sweatshorts, all sorts of stuff. We got coffee cups, we got stickers. Vidane TV, rent a race car, Angry Tree Guy. There's all sorts of stuff over there. Be sure to use promo code Liberty for 10% off at checkout as well. Gonna get this restart with 3 laps to go. Pileski's been the man in that 93 car down the bottom side. Christensen very, very fast in that 24 car up on the high side. This is gonna be huge.
As pace truck pulls off, Pileski does get another hole shot, and Christensen and Montgomery going to be side by side going into 1. Christensen really needs to clear him to try to have any shot at Pileski, but as you see, Pileski just pulls down the backstretch.
And take a look at this, the 141 of Richard Drake all the way back up into the 3rd position, setting his sights now on, sliding on back a little bit further, a little 2x2 battle, getting up around him, contact with the 141, the 12, the 116, caution flag going to fly. 12 is on his roof. Montgomery sticks the landing, grabs the gear, and gets rolling. But man, oh man, that's going to set up a green-white checker here for us at Bristol.
Yeah, as I told you earlier, watch for the 141 when he was in the back. I knew he was going to make his way back up. He's been going up and back and up and back. But just looks like the just a little bit of coming together, just trying to fighting hard here with less than 5 to go, and they just ran out of room.
Everybody knows the rules here at Vidane TV. Somebody goes upside down. We got to take a look at the cockpit. Look at all that mud on the windshield. There you can see upside down, earth, ground, dirt, sky, sparks, dirt, fence, dirt, and sticks to landing. The 116 car grabs a gear and gets going once again. Beautiful camera angles here with the iRacing service. And man, oh man, you can take a look. Hard racing between the 12, the 141, the 116 in there trying to make it a battle as well. There's that little bit of contact. 12 overcorrects up into the wall. And man, just a tough instance there at that point. Hard hit. A lot of damage there on the back end.
And we got lights out. We're going 1 to green, and I believe we're only going to have a green-white checkered here to finish.
That's going to be a lot of fun. Going to cross the stripe with popsicle sticks with 2 laps to go. Pileski down on the bottom. Christensen up on the high side, and there you can see down and away. 93 car gets the shot. 24 tucks right in his tire track. Single file for 1 and 2. It is a shootout there for 3rd on back.
Yeah, they're still all able to get through turn 1, trying to get to the white flag and make this race official. Pileski all the way to the bottom. If he can get through 4 more clean, he should be able to come away with it. But Christensen trying everything he can to try to track him down.
Chantel Bottle making it wide there in 4th, trying to get around Richard Drake up into the outside wall. Is she going to get this spot? Looks like Pileski going to hold on to it. Christensen there in 3rd. It's going to be a drag race there for 3rd on back. There you see Richard Drake going to cross the stripe, and Olsen up in the 4th. Chantel Bottle dropping on back. Going to have to take a little bit of a replay on that one. But James Pileski up in the front, taking himself another victory.
Oh, a couple extracurriculars here on the front stretch. Olsen was not happy with our winner, James Pileski, after that one.
But definitely set up an incredible finish here at Bristol, and there's still a couple more racing action to go. There you can see the contact with the 33 and the 5 car getting pointed in the wrong direction. But strong run for the 5 car. Chantel Pottle. We'll see where she ends up in the super late models here, and we'll see if we can catch up with any of the finishing drivers here up in the top 5. But before we do that, we're going to take a quick break, step away, grab ourselves a quick beverage, and get ourselves ready for the 50-lap finale here in the Super Late Models of Bristol. Don't go anywhere. If you do, just come right back. We'll be here. And right back into the action. These drivers got the opportunity to get themselves warmed up for 15 more minutes out on track with these dirt super late models here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Starting order is already set up, and we are ready to get rocking and or rolling here at Bristol Motor Speedway. The main event of the evening, the TCM Dirt Derby 50-lapper here with the super late models. So you can see James Pileski strong all night long in all of the cars we've seen here around this racetrack. Some 8 battles between he and Aiden Christensen. He's going to start outside.
Yep, and let's say we got row number 2. We got Richard Drake on the inside, Cody Olsen on the outside.
Mitchell Montgomery in the 12 car going to start in P5. Tyler Hallahan in that 33 going to start on the outside of row number 3.
Row number 4, Aiden McDonald on the inside in the 133 car. And Craig Kenny going to be starting on the top side in the 90.
Chantel Bottle, great showing in that number 5 car there in the UMP Mods is starting P9. Jonathan Pollard in the 19 car going to start in 10.
You have row number 6, John Fitzpatrick in the number 78 is going to start in the 11th position with Dave Horton in the 73 starting on the outside and row in position number 12.
And rounding out the 13 car field in this one, Craig Kenny in the 90 car starting in the back with John Fitzpatrick back there as well. Lined up 2 by 2 all the way through. Big time racing here with the TCM Dirt Derby main event of the evening. Super late model action. 93 car down on the bottom side, the 24 up on the top.
Looks like we're starting based on the finish results from the last race, so that's why we have Pileski and Christensen up front, Drake and Olsen in the second row. Going to be a good start here. Let's see if Pileski can get another monster start as we're coming off of turn number 4.
And there you can see it rips that car sideways. A little bit of contact up into Christensen in that 24 car. But they keep down and away. Front two cars already broken away. Richard Drake in third. A little side-by-side action further on back. But it looks like they've got it sorted out for the front 5-6 cars.
Yeah, they look like be already single file pretty quick. Just going to try to knock off some laps here. But as you see, the top two, right, head, nose to tail, third and fourth. Drake and Olsen looking very racy here early on.
Get some use out of the U.S. Racing Design blimp here this evening. You can see a two-car battle for two different positions on racetrack. Battle for the lead between Christensen and Pileski there to battle for third. Drake and Olsen going back and forth in that position number 3. But you can see Christensen really starting to close in on the back bumper. Chantel Powell around, it looks like.
Yep, got an early yellow here. Looks to be in the back. 78 of Fitzpatrick looks to be involved. We'll see all what happens here in the YRD instant replay.
Back up to tapes. Handful of cars involved in this one. A 78 car. Looks like might have gotten a little bit of a piece of it here. We'll take a peek at it at the U.S. Racing Designs instant replay. And I'll take a look from the blend. You can see the 78 car kind of coming into picture. Slowing up, and as we get some car numbers involved there, you can see, I believe that is the, I still didn't quite see what number that was.
36 were also involved, it looks like. Pollard, number 19, was given the EOL, so.
See 19 get a little bit sideways. There's a 5-car up on the high side as well. Up into the outside wall there, you can see some contact there. 33 car gets down and away, and ooh, big time hit there for the white and black car. So that's a tough break. Couple of big hits there for 19 car.
Yep, it looks like the 5 Pollard just had nowhere to go. As I'm just kind of unlucky there. As we are back 2x2, 1 to go, coming to green here.
Kept up with him that time. Green flag flies. Christensen right up with Pileski. That time on the restart. A little side-by-side battle. A little beating and banging on that restart. Christensen going to take a quick peek down low. Nothing there. Going to tuck back into the tire tracks behind Pileski for the time being.
Nose to tail down the back stretch. Looking into 3 and 4. Christensen running just a little bit higher, getting into the corner. As it's a nice fresh track right now. So everyone's really riding that bottom as low as they can go as the race goes on. Oh, got in the wall a little bit.
Big contact. They hold on to it. Contact between the leaders, both pointed in the wrong directions. Gathering it back up. We stay green. Richard J closes the gap. The 19 car gathering it back up, getting back on the racetrack. Cody Olsen closing the gap there as well. Big time contact between the leaders. We stay green.
That was a great job to save it. Pileski looked like he just touched the wall just a little bit, slowed him down on entry, and that's what got Christensen in the back of him. Heads up by all the drivers, though, to get off the throttle and actually gather it back up. And as we stay green here with already 10 laps complete.
A little bit of damage now on the back bumper of the 93. A little bit of damage on the front of the 24. Doesn't seem to be slowing either driver down. Catching a little bit of good grip up on that high side. Starting to pull away from that third position, the 141 of Drake. And you can see Christensen really trying to set that car up on exit. Really closes into the back bumper. Has to check up just a little bit. But a massive run there for the 24 cars. Biding his time, trying to get up to that lead.
Yeah, you can see him running pretty much the same line. As you can just barely begin to see a little bit of slick. Maybe not so much in 3 and 4, but 1 and 2. Right about where they're running. You can see the slick just starting to come in. And you can see him moving up just to the top, just to get to that berm a little bit, trying to get that little bit of extra momentum here. And that'll get harder and harder to do as the race continues.
It's harder and harder to do because you're able to see less and less. Look at all the mud caked up on that camera on the 24 car. Trying to set his sights on that leader. Can't even see him. Trying to find where that 93 car is to get up and around him. You can see right in the tire tracks right now, doing a little bit of homework, trying to find out where he's quicker to see if he can get on around him. But a little bit further on back, big slide for Richard Drake down on the bottom side. Open in the top for Cody Olsen in the 6 car. Strong all night long, all different cars around this Bristol Motor Speedway. And you can see trying to make that top side work on the racetrack there for the number 6. Going to take a peek down low now.
Olsen he's definitely driving a little angry here after the ending of that last race, but he seems to be he's next to the person that makes a lot of contact. Oh, as we got one stopped. Oh, right on the top side. Luckily, the leaders were able to get underneath.
Ashton Rieke having some trouble there in the 36 car. Gonna take that battered thing, looks like down to the safety of pit road. We'll see where the 36 car, if he restarts in this one. We're going to back up to iRACING Designs instant replay. Looking like getting a little bit out of shape here and then getting a little bit of contact between he and another car. Looks like the black and gold car here coming up into the screen. Looks like it might have been Pottle in that number 5 car. Focusing on that number 36 all the way down to the bottom of the racetrack, trying to use that groove to get him turned. Gets out of shape just a little bit, and there you see right across the nose of the 5 car up under the catch fence for the 36. Tough break for Ashton in that 36 car. Been pretty strong in these dirt cars tonight, but not quite going to have the finish he was looking for. A little bit of damage, a lot of damage on that 36 car as we look at it.
Yeah, I got to feel bad for Chantel Pottle, because not of her own volition or doing, but she's just been getting collected in pretty much everyone else's mess all night long in the modifieds, and now here Ben Quick just unable to avoid the calamity in front of her. But looks like we lights are out on the pace truck as we're going green this time.
There you saw a good glimpse of the damage there on the 5 car. Going to rejoin the tail end of the field. Looks like struggling with the handling on that just a little bit. Lots of damage on that 5 car. Looking at it, man, take a look at the restart once again. You can see when that 93 hammers on down to that throttle, gets that car upset and gone. There you see, driving away from Christensen in that second position. He's trying to hold off a side-by-side battle now for third. Richard Drake up on the high side. Olsen in the 6, down low.
Olsen trying to find his way up to the front, because you know if he gets up to the lead car, Pileski, he's going to have something to say to him after the 4, but he's going to have to wait a little longer as we have another caution.
Looks like we might have some issues with the 12 car gathering as the field gets gathered back up. Easy enough for me to say. We'll pull up the iRACING Design instant replay, take a peek at it from the blimp here in this one, and find what went down. Looks like the 12 car getting a little bit of a bump in the corner, getting put in it's the wrong direction, and you can take a look at it here. Focus in on that 12 car getting into the corners. There's a little bit of a bump there from Kenny in the 90. Right there, just an ill-timed bump, gets spun around right at the entrance of pit road. Not quite able to get it straightened out in time for race officials to keep that green. So we get a quick caution here, just shy of the halfway marker, working lap number 22 here in Bristol.
Yeah, that's very easy to do. As you saw, as he got into the corner, he just over-rotated it just a little bit, and it slows your momentum down so much. If anybody's even near you, behind you, it's very easy for them just to get into you, and once you're there, you're going around. There's nothing you can do about it. And as we look back, we got the same top 4: Pileski, Christensen, Drake on the inside, row 2, Olsen outside. As we come to the restart, and we'll see if anybody has anything for Pileski here halfway.
We might be having a little bit of issue with the Facebook stream. If you're having trouble with that, go over to YouTube, get your second half of this feature live on YouTube. Not sure why we got canceled on Facebook, because we didn't use any music that we haven't used all season long. But in any sense, how about this three-wide battle, 3-car tango here for this second position? Christensen holding on to it, but Olsen in that 6 car wants a piece of the pie, wants a bigger piece of the pie. He's all over the back bump to the 24.
Oh, yeah, Olsen was not sleeping on that restart. He was able to get a good jump on Drake to get around the outside of him, and now he's setting his sights on Christensen here, running right in the trail of him, a few car lengths back from the leader. These top 4 are really putting on a show.
And you can see just the different lines that these drivers are using. Little onboard action from shotgun on that number 6 of Cody. Olsen has a phenomenal view of the 2 drivers up in front of him, halfway this time by 24 laps to go. Pileski holding on to the lead. He's got 3 drivers right in the chain as caution flag flies. Dave Horton, Chantel Pottle involved.
And we got one upside down. It looks like he's probably going to have to tow that one. I highly doubt he'll be able to do much with that.
Yeah, sir, you can't park there. Dave Horton in the 73 car, big time problems with that Mopar machine. We'll back up the U-House Racing Designs instant replay. That was one heck of a hit here, it looks like. We're going to take a peek at this one. 93 or 73 car comes out of the corner. Everything looks good getting in. Everything seems okay with this setup. You can see the back end, though, just keeps coming on around. Almost slams into those barrels there. And there you can see just getting launched up into the air from the 5 car. A couple of quick barrel rolls and upside down there for the 73 car. Man, oh man, that's a tough break. That's a couple of hard hits there for the 73.
And once again, who's involved? Who gets caught up in another pre-first mess? It's the 5 car of Pottle once again. Nowhere to go, and when it rains, it pours, I guess. That's a rough day.
Wrong place, wrong time for Chantal Pottle in that 5 car. Ben strong showings on the dirt here for the 5. Just not quite the finishes she's looking for here in the TCM Dirt Derby. And, man, you can see Pileski up front, Christensen in second, Olsen, Drake, and Fitzpatrick up in the top 5. And, man, there is some damage on those cars up in the leaders. They've been beating and banging all night long.
Oh, yes. But now the second row, I'm going to be very interested to see this restart, because now you have Olsen on the inside behind Pileski. So he's going to know he's going to try to get a good jump right after Pileski, trying to get underneath of Christensen to try to jump in the second here. So this is going to be a very important restart for Olsen and Christensen to see who's going to come up in that runner-up spot to be able to challenge.
And there you can see lined up 2 by 2, lights off on the pace truck. Going to get ready to rock and roll once again. Pileski in the 93, the 24 of Christensen side by side. And Pileski's been the man on these restarts all night long in that 93 car. We'll see if he does it again. And indeed he does. The 24 car tries to get hooked up, but not quite in time. Pileski pulls away by a couple of cars, 0.3 of a second of lead between he and Christensen.
Yep, and Christensen gets into the wall a little bit. He was able to get clear, but he's going to get a little bump from Olsen. We'll see if he'll be able to hold on to it as they look to. But look at that, Drake with a big run around the top side, goes from 4th all the way to 2nd on that little bobble, as the battle now is going to be for 3rd between Christensen on the top side and Olsen on the bottom.
There you can see there's the battle we've seen all night long between Christensen. There's a big bump, big wreck up in front. There's another slide. There's a push. That was a shove from the 24 to the back of the 141. The 19 car involved in another incident that's going to bring the caution flag out here with 18 laps to go.
That was a bit of a mess. There was already people turned and wrecked in front of them before they even got there. And you don't know if that might have been what Richard Drake saw that made him check up a little bit, that allowed Christensen to get into him. But big winner in that, Olsen going into 2nd. But as the YRD instant replay will show us here.
Yeah, taking a peek from the blimp there, you can see the 141 up into 2nd, gets up to the outside wall. There's a big bump there from the 24, gets a little bit sideways, bigger bump again. There's another turning them right around almost right into the entrance there of pit road. The 24 continues on. We'll see where looks like he's going to restart in the back of the pack, as is the 141 of Richard Drake. So lead going to be the 93. Olsen going to restart 2nd. Craig Kenny, John Fitzpatrick, and Tyler Hallahan going to be the top 5 as they run.
Yeah, that one was interesting because you could see the right in front of Pileski, there was a lap car, and that kind of slowed them all down, and that's what kind of got them in the initial trouble here. But it looks like the lights are out, and we're going green with only 16 laps to go. Now you got Olsen that's going to be right beside Pileski here on this restart. Let's see if they can still get the good hole shot here.
And there you can see the 93 car taking off from that 6 car in 2nd position, and they're a little bit sideways there. 2nd, 3rd place on back, 78 down low, the 90 up high.
Kenny's going to tuck up behind Olsen, trying to hold on to that 3rd spot, as he's kind of come big mover here from started 8th up to 3rd. Hasn't said his name too many times, trying to stay out of trouble. But he's doing really well. He's got the top spot, battle for the top spot. Olsen looked to the top side, going around Pileski. What a power move on the top side there. Just using all of that momentum to get around. It's Pileski not trying to let him get away with those, trying to track him back down.
Huge power move from the 6 car, getting up, getting connected just a little bit there, and getting that 93 car upset enough to hold on to it. The 78, another move on the outside. You can see Fitzpatrick moving on into third. Oh, a little bit of a connection issue there. Craig Kenny's still down on the bottom side. So these guys side by side there for third. 12 laps to go. Pileski trying to set sights on the leader once again, but you can see dropping back just a little bit further on as the laps go on.
Yeah, as you can see, all the slick down through the middle now. They're trying to run a little bit higher line, and it's not as easy to stay right on that edge. As you see Richard Drake on the edge, you see a Christian trying to pull off a slider, gets into Drake to body him out of the way, and sometimes, especially when it's getting late like this, you got to use him up a little bit.
133 car getting a piece of the action there, a little side by side there between Fitzpatrick and Kenny. 9 laps to go, and you can see Richard Drake, Aiden Christensen, they were beating and banging on each other once again all night long, no matter where they're at on the racetrack. Those guys have been banging on each other. Cody Olsen driving away, though, 3/4 of a second lead as he gets ready to cross the stripe. With 8 laps to go, James Pileski trying to close the gap once again, but drifting on back in the 93 car. Fitzpatrick almost 3 seconds on back to the battle for third between he and the number 90 car of Craig Kenny, holding on to the position right now, trying to get up to the back bumper, though, of that 78.
Yeah, Fitzpatrick right now, the big mover from 11th on the starting grid up to third, running really well, really clean. But Kenny is not letting him get away. As you see, Fitzpatrick gets a little bit too low into the slick, and it's just making it very hard to get the drive off, and Kenny's running that top line and getting so much more momentum coming off the corner.
Olsen, 0.8 of a second lead over Pileski, led a bunch of laps there in the 93 car, but sliding a little bit further on back. You can see the race for third starting to get a little bit of a gap in between there. Fitzpatrick holding on in the 78 car. Christensen back a little bit further in the 24. Kenny holding on to the 5th spot right now. Richard Drake in the 141. Lakers ride back outside the top 5 and 6. Mitchell Montgomery, Tyler Hallahan, the top drivers on the lead lap, crossing the stripe. 4 laps to go for the 6 car of Olsen.
Yeah, and Pileski pulled a couple tenths that lap, but we are going to have a caution, and that's going to be a green, white, checkered, and who knows what can happen when you have only 2 laps to get it done, and this is going to get interesting, Paul.
Indeed, it is. The 133 car of Aiden McDonald involved in this one. We'll back up to U-House Racing Designs. Instant replay. Looks like might have just lost the handling on the back end of that 133 car. We'll take a peek at it from the stands here, and you can see getting into the corner, everything looks good. Just a little bit too much over rotation. The back end of the car comes around, almost spinning out there or flipping on over, and then back up into the racing groove. Not able to get that thing reset in time. So the 133 car going to restart towards the back of the pack. A couple of laps down there for the 133, but green, white, checkered attempt. 6 car of Olsen. Pileski's been a monster on restarts all night long, but he's going to be restarting second on the outside. The 6 car is going to be the driver that's going to pick when these drivers are going to go. This is going to be one heck of a finish.
This is going to be a very interesting restart. Pileski and Barney in the flag stand have been telling each other all night when the green's coming out, and he's been nailed every restart. Olsen has to have a great start here, especially because of Pileski having the better line off on the top side. So as we see, 2 to go, let's see what happens.
6 car of Olsen making them all work for it. Late restart in that one. It keeps the pack all sorts of bunched up, but it's going to give us the white flag, white rag. Final lap here of the evening. Olsen has it, but Pileski is there. Does he have enough to get up and around him? Checkered flag up into the air. Olsen in the 6 car going to hold on to it.
Big restart for Olsen, being able to hold on a little bit further back. A little calamity for Christensen, but it was Olsen able to finally get it done after putting together a couple good runs in the other classes. Just could not quite get it done, but this time he was able to get it done. So
Cody Olsen comes home with the lead. James Pileski finishes second, strong all night long. Craig Kenny going to round out the top 3. We'll see if we can get hooked up with any of these drivers getting wrapped up as we take a peek at the finishing order. There you see Olsen, Pileski, and Kenny, your podium finishers. John Fitzpatrick going to finish in 4th. Richard Drake, another top 5 in the 141 car. In 5th, Mitchell Montgomery, Tyler Hallahan, Aiden Christensen, Ashton Rickey, and Aiden McDonald going to be the top 10. Jonathan McDonald, Chantel Pottle, and Dave Horton rounding out the field here. Hell of a final event here. 50 laps in the super late models, clicking them on, clicking them off. Great race, great feature.
Yeah, they put on a heck of a show there, and it was, as you could see, the race progressed. The lines kept moving up more and more, and Olsen was able to capitalize when it moved up earlier than Pileski, who was still trying to hold the bottom, and the line just wasn't there anymore. But it was a very good race, but you could see whoever could adjust to the track changes the best came out on top.
And a little bit different showing for a lot of these drivers. Going to get hooked up here. Ashton, not quite the finish you were looking for, bud, but man, impressive out on the dirt for that 36 car.
That was the finish I'm used to, though.
Well, we didn't want to go there, but
I'm not used to finishing up front. I showed everybody what I had in practice, and then I let everybody else win.
A solid top 10, right, Tim?
Yes. We're trying to get you a couple of the drivers here to chat with.
Yeah, had ourselves a heck of a run here throughout the night. Great racing, street stocks, UMP modifieds, and capping things off here with a super late model race. You can see the finishing order on your screen here, and going to catch up with the 93, driver the number 93, finishes second here in the finale. James Pileski, Paul Strickland up in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Hey, Paul, how's it going, buddy?
Not too bad. Long time no speak, man. Been a long time since you and I have crossed paths. But man, strong showing here on the dirt. Strong in all three cars, the street stocks, the UMP mods, and the super late models here. Talk to us, man. What's going through your mind?
Man, nobody's more surprised than me. I don't even play around with the dirt. I felt like the dirt street stock, I might be okay, but I felt like everything else, I'd be out to lunch. So I'm really surprised I was even competitive.
Yeah, putting on a heck of a show here tonight. Master those restarts as well all night long. Is that something you kind of practice on throughout the night, or is that just kind of something you picked up? Just awesome restarts throughout the night.
Well, I always try to keep them guessing, like sometimes I'll go right when the truck starts moving. Sometimes I'll go a little bit later. You have to always keep them on their toes. You can't let them, you can't be predictable, right? So that's always my goal, even on asphalt. It's easy when you're in the first two rows. It's harder to get good restarts when you're, second, third, fourth row back. But it's worked out for me tonight. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, great running all night long. And speaking of asphalt, throughout the overnight here, we get rid of all this dirt and we get back to pavement running the 333 lapper for the Hallahan 333, third annual tomorrow on Vidane TV. We going to see that 93 car in tomorrow night?
Absolutely. Most definitely. I've been practicing today. I was fastest in practice. There wasn't a whole lot of people in there, but I feel like I should be pretty strong. Super lates, asphalt super lates are kind of my thing, so I'm looking to have a good run. That's the goal here. I don't, I'm going to qualify in. That's it,
Big time momentum for the 93 crew. Who gets it done for you? Who gets you to and from the virtual racetrack?
Well, I want to thank Loco Toco Designs, my teammates, all the guys at the posse. We work on setups for asphalt stuff. Like I said, I don't really do dirt, so I'm amazed I was even good today. But, some guys I owe a lot to. They make me better, so thank you to the posse.
100% solid showing for the 93 camp. Momentum on his side. Going to see him tomorrow night, or tomorrow afternoon rather, in the Hallahan 333. We'll see you then.
Thanks, Paul. You guys have a good night.
And Ryan, I believe you've caught up with the finale winner. That's number 6 car, Cody Olsen, down there in Victory Lane.
Yes, we have. I ran pretty well in the UMPs. Able to challenge and got caught up in a little late, but definitely put on a clinic here in the later stages of the super late models. And Cody, can you talk to us a little about the run? And just, it looked like the top side was really, you were the first one to really jump up there and take advantage of it when the track started changing.
Yeah. Early, it was just kind of down on the bottom, but I noticed that we had enough laps that we could at least wear it in a little bit. I wasn't sure how far it would go, but I noticed towards the end there that there was kind of a nice little wear ring going through there, and I figured I might as well jump up and try to put it up there and see if I can make something happen since the bottom was so locked down, and luck would have it, it worked.
Yeah, it was definitely a nice little power move there to bolster around, but with everyone else getting into each other. And it was a little bit of a little beating and banging, it looked like, throughout the night. And was it a little rougher out there than you anticipated with the competition?
Yeah, the first couple races were a little rough, but I mean, it came around, and you just got to kind of be patient, I guess, and take it each race at a time, and hopefully you can get one of them.
So I'm not sure, but are you running the race tomorrow as well?
Oh yeah.
How's the car looking so far for the big one tomorrow?
So I put in some laps today on the practice session we had earlier, and then I'll probably put some down early in the morning. So I'm clear on the other side of the West Coast, so stuff's gonna happen super early for me tomorrow.
I gotcha. So yeah, hopefully it'll go nice and smooth, a little less contact than there was today, but I wish you all the best. Who all helps you get it done here?
Just a handful of the guys over at ADM, and then Dirt Co Media House, 34 Raceway. There's a handful of other ones, I keep forgetting them, but we'll get them on the next one.
That's what I like to hear. Confidence, knowing you'll be back. That's
Hopefully.
Our winner here today in the 6 car, Cody Olsen in the super late models. Paul?
Yeah, and Tim, I think we're seeing that, what was it, the blue and purple, yellow Val Venus flag that's waving with Barney up in the flag time? I think it's Royal Rumble time, is it not?
Yeah, it is. The men's Royal Rumble is about halfway through already, so we're gonna go watch some of that and get ready for tomorrow. Great racing this evening. I was hoping for a couple more cars, but I think we got 50-something registered for tomorrow. Looking forward to who makes it into the 333 and who ends up winning the 3rd annual. Going to be a great show, and we'll see who ends up on top. But Paul, we'll go watch the Royal Rumble.
100%. We'll catch you guys tomorrow afternoon right here live on Vidane TV. We'll catch you on the flip side, and when we do, we